Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is a special day because I don't normally put out TBR videos, but here I am doing a TBR video, and you're probably wondering why. And that's because Game of Tomes Readathon starts on March 1st, and so I wanted to let you know, one, what I'll be reading for the Readathon, and two, which house I'm going to be in. So the Game of Tomes Readathon is a readathon that I co-host with Dash from Mythic Pages and Ray from Bookmark Chronicles. And together, the three of us, I think we've created a good round for you guys. I think it's going to be a fun time. But for origin story, I was House Lannister. Now, did I betray them? Did I become a traitor to my house? I didn't. I'm still with House Lannister, of course, and I did think about it. I really did. I thought about it long and hard, like, am I going to do this? Am I going to betray the Lannisters? And no, I'm not. So let's just get right into what my TBR for that will be. So the group prompt for everyone that is continuing with Game of Tomes, who started it with the origin story in November and they're continuing, the group prompt for that is to read a book that continues a series. For that, I'm going to be reading The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. This is the third and last book in the Poppy War trilogy. It has been a ride, I'm not gonna lie. I am stressed out every time I read a book in the series. My faves are gone, they're back, they're gone. Do I even have favorites anymore? I don't know. But I am so curious to see if Ren comes out as a hero, as a villain, as a victor, a loser in this war. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna be around till the end? I just have so many questions and I'm so excited to dive back into this world. I finished the second one not too long ago, so it's still fresh on my mind. It's still like there, the feelings, everything is still there, and I just need to know how this ends, so definitely picking that up. So the first prompt for House Lannister is Lord Tywin, and that's to read a book with a yellow or gold cover. And for that, I'm going to read I Don't Want to Die Poor by Michael Arsenault. It is a collection of nonfiction essays that Michael Arsenault has put together about his thoughts on finances and debt and what being financially stable means to him, and how money and debt just kind of impact his everyday life. It's a serious topic, but I know that it will be infused with some wit and humor because that is just his writing style. I really enjoyed when I read I Can't Date Jesus. That was hilarious. That was him talking about his relationship with Christianity and the Black church, and it was good. So I know that this is also going to be a good time for me. The next prompt is Cersei, and that's to read a book with a female protagonist. And I'm excited about this because this book is actually my most anticipated read of the year. It is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. It is not here with me, but it will be here on Tuesday. And I am so excited for it. Like, as soon as I get it into my little hands, I'm going to pick it up and crack that spine. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to intentionally do that. But if it happens, you know? So Gallant is about Olivia, who has spent most of her life at this all-girls school, and the only memories that she really has of her mother are through these journals that she has. And one day she gets a letter saying, like, return home. And she's like, well, I've never actually really lived there or been there. And she goes home and weird stuff happens. And that's all I really know about what's going on. And that's all I need to know. It's V.E. Schwab. I was ready to pick it up the moment it was announced that it was going to be a book. So I'm super excited for that. The next book prompt is Tyrion, and that is to read a short book. And I'm going to read How to Slowly Kill Yourself and Others in America by Kiese Lehman. I read Heavy by him a couple of years ago and I really liked it. It's a very short book. It's about 100, definitely less than 150 pages. I want to say like 143. I lied, it's 158, but 150 pages, give or take. So I'm going to pick this up. This is also another nonfiction, a collection of essays. This will be about a wide range of topics from race and identity to celebrity and music and all things in between, I'm sure. I really loved Heavy. I like Layman's writing, so I'm hoping that this will be just as compelling of a read as Heavy was, if not more, better. So this one. Then the last prompt for House Lannister is to travel to King's Landing as a spy. So while I didn't get to portray my house, I still get to be a little devious. And for that, I need to read a book about someone pretending to be someone else. And I'm actually using Ray's pick from her recommendations video, which was You by Caroline Kepnes. And so this is about a guy who is a creepy stalker and he is stalking this woman. I know it's written in second person, and so probably to give the reader the feel like they are the one being stalked, but it's not them. I hope not. I hope you are not being stalked. Honestly, truly. There's obviously a Netflix show about it that has a couple of seasons down. I've never watched it, but I am really excited to pick this up and give it a whirl. I think it'll be a little creepy and I'm excited for it. Also, if you need some last minute recommendations, I have a recommendations video up, but Ray also has one up and I'll link that somewhere as well. So those are my Game of Tomes choices for the month of March. But, you know, that's not enough. So I'm also going to be participating in Middle Grade March. Middle Grade March is just when you pick up some middle grades for the month of March. And that is actually being hosted by three fantastic ladies. It's being hosted by Krista at Books and Jams, Amanda at The Curly Reader, and Katie at Life Between Words. So I will link all of their channels down below and the announcement video for Middle Grade March. But I thought, you know what? I also want to read a little bit of middle grade. I've been wanting to. My brain has been like craving a little bit of easier reads for me. The group prompt for them is to read Pony by R.J. Palacio. If I can get my hands on it, I'm going to try to read it, but if not, then obviously I won't read it. But I'm also going to try to be following the prompts. There are 5 prompts. You don't necessarily have to read books that are the prompts. If you pick up one middle grade, you have achieved Middle Grade March. So, you know, participate if you want. But for me, these are the picks that I'm going to try to get to. The first prompt is a book with 5 or more words in the title, and I'm going to be picking up My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich by E.B. Zavoy. This is about Ebony Grace, and she is spending the summer with her father in Harlem. I think she's like from somewhere in the South, Mississippi maybe? I don't know. But she spends most of her time with her grandfather, and they make up these imaginary worlds because she has difficulty making friends, keeping friends. And so when she goes to live with her father, she's struggling just to kind of fit in and to make some friendships, but you kind of see her develop over the summer and really come into her own. So the next prompt is to read a book about an orphan main character, and I'm going to be reading The Tragical Tale of Bertie Bloom by Temra Belts, and this is about an orphaned girl and who teams up with a witch. Both of them are already unlucky, but they develop an unlikely friendship that may result in them both turning around their fates. The next prompt is a contemporary book, and I'm going to be reading When Life Gives You Mangoes by Kieran Gotten. This is about Clara, who lives on an exotic island, but to her it's just home, nothing exotic about it. Like a summer or something before, she had a tragic situation happen, which resulted in her losing some of her memory. And so her parents fill in bits and pieces there, but you know, still there are parts missing. And sometimes that can hamper her life a little bit. But this summer, in the book, not now, it's not summer, but this summer, she is determined to have the best summer ever, especially because a visitor comes to the island who may shake things up a little bit. So I'm excited to find out who the visitor is and what she brings to the island. The next prompt is to read a book set in Asia or about an Asian main character, and for that I'm going to be reading Aru Shah and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. That is about Aru, and she embellishes her life a little bit to her classmates to make life seem a little bit more interesting. And one day during her school break, her classmates come to her house to try to catch her in a lie about this lamp that she said was a curse, and they're like, prove it. And so she is like, oh, please let something happen. So she lights the lamp, chaos just breaks out, I'm sure, but I'm sure it's a fun type of chaos. I'm excited to find out about it and see how it all comes together. I know that there are a couple of other books in the series. I think it's a quartet. So I'm hoping that I'll like it enough to want to continue on with the other 3 in the series. The last prompt is to read a book that's older than me. And so I'm going to finally pick up Kiki's Delivery Service by Aiko Kadona. That came out in 1985. I barely made the cut. I've seen the movie so many times. And so I'm finally excited to pick up the book and read it because I know that I'll just have a good time with it as well. But we're following Kiki, who's half witch, and when the time comes for her to leave her town and go to a new town, she's like, I'm out of here. And she goes with all of the vigor and enthusiasm of someone who still has hope and joy in their heart. So I'm hoping that some of that will rub off on me. And I just know that I'll have a good time with it. So if I have time to squeeze in a couple of more middle grades, I'm definitely going to try to squeeze in The Tunnel of Bones, which is the second in the Cassidy Blake series by Victoria Schwab. It is a series that I want to continue on with this year. And then the other book that I want to try to get to is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And so if I can squeeze those 2 in, then I will, which I think I might have room for. It's only so far 10 books. But there's not only 10 books, is there? Because I'm not satisfied with just doing a Game of Tomes Readathon and Middle Grade March. No, I'm also participating in Jess Owen's Book Community Read, which is a book club that she does where they read nonfiction books, and March's pick is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. I've been wanting to read this for a long time, and this is finally my reason. Not my reason, but it's finally the push that I need to pick it up and read it. So I'm going to be doing that. That is a nonfiction book about the intersectionality of race and feminism. So I know that a lot of good topics are going to be coming up in it. I've heard nothing but good things from everyone who's read it. So I'm also really excited to get to it. And then 4 wonderful, beautiful women are doing a Brandon Sanderson read-along. And those 4 women are Princess from Castle Library, Bonnie from Books with Bonnie, Brandy from Books with Brandy Shanae, and Bree from Bree Cherie Reads. All of their channels will also be linked below, but they are doing a Brandon Sanderson read-along. Their first pick for March is a Mistborn. This copy of Mistborn has been sitting on my shelves for years, and I've never picked it up. And this book is also part of the series that I want to read in 2022. So perfect, right? So going to be squeezing this in as well. And that's my TBR for the month. I think that is enough. I think I will be plenty busy. And if I needed some time to squeeze in some reading, well, I'm in luck because Ray, Dasha, and I will be hosting reading sprints all throughout March. So if you want to check out our Twitter, Instagram, Discord, the website, or any of that to find out when we are hosting those sprints, you can find that below. We actually have one coming up on Tuesday, March 1st. That's the first day of the readathon. And so we're going to be having a sprint over on Dash's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you'll all be able to join us. But that's all I had for you guys today. What are you guys reading in March? Are you participating in a Game of Tomes readathon? Do you think you'll participate in Middle Grade March? Or are you doing any other readathons that are happening this month? Let me know. Let's talk about it down below in the comments. And until next time, bye.